Gonna rise up, find my direction magnetically. Gonna rise up, throw down my ace.
I'm still depressed, but it hasn't really been a week. I know you're seeing this a week later, but it's only been a couple of minutes. So it's still November 4th, and that's why I'm still wearing this shirt. But I figured this topic deserved 2 blogs, because in the election that swept in all these Republicans and folks who want to roll back a lot of the things that matter to me, and I assume if you're watching me, might matter to you: health reform, taking care of people that can't take care of themselves, helping them, giving resources to people who are less fortunate, that kind of stuff. Prop 19 failed in California, the marijuana thing. And, I had some ambivalence about this, because I was, this is my field and now, and I care a lot about this, and legalization of marijuana. I mean, I know that the 2 most abused drugs in the world are tobacco and alcohol, the 2 legal drugs. I also know that alcohol, and study just came out last week that said basically alcohol is more damaging and dangerous than cocaine. I've known that for years. I've seen people die of alcohol abuse, and it's nasty, and it's way more debilitating than some of the other drugs. As a matter of fact, when I was being treated back when I was a teenager for my heroin addiction, a doctor, a very smart doctor at Yale University, said to me that if I drank the way I did heroin, I'd be a wet brain. And what he was saying basically is alcohol is much more dangerous than heroin, and it is, and damaging. But anyways, this bill, this Prop 19, failed, and I don't want to see another legal drug. I also understand that kids, your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25, and this, chronic marijuana use is one of the biggest reasons people are going to rehab today. If you use marijuana chronically, your life is not going to be as good as if you don't. Marijuana today, as Nora Volkow, the director of NIDA, the National Institute of Drug Abuse, says, the kind of marijuana I smoked 30 years ago was like beer. This is whiskey. This is strong stuff. I still voted for it because I believe that prevention should be in the home, that good education will prevent people from using drugs. And I also believe that what's happening in society is, the studies have shown 7 more men of color, African Americans, Latinos, are arrested for small amounts of marijuana than whites. And this is, systemic racism, basically, practiced on the part of urban police departments to basically educate officers on how to process drug arrests, because they normally would let these guys go, but they don't because they need the training. So they arrest men, and they're charged with misdemeanors, and it adversely affects their life. So. These are the concerns. It didn't pass, so marijuana is not going to be legal in the state of California. However, it has been decriminalized, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the issue that concerns me is the way the state law enforcement officials look at this issue in terms of the kinds of arrests that are made. And it's clear that many more, 7 times as many African Americans and Latinos are arrested for small amounts of marijuana than whites. And they're arrested primarily because in large urban centers, rookie cops need to understand how to process drug arrests. And so they're encouraged not to let these folks go. So they get the practice, and this directly and adversely affects people's lives, and it is systemic racism, and it happens across the country, and it's a problem it's one of the things that we need to address in terms of the legalization issue. Is how many people are arrested or put in jail who are African Americans or Latinos because of drug issues. How many more of those folks are going to jail than whites? And this is an issue, and it's as I said, an issue nationally, and it needs to be addressed, irrespective of how you come out on the issues of whether this is a good thing or not. I personally feel we have two drugs that are legal now: tobacco and alcohol. Those are the two most abused drugs in our society. We probably don't need another one. However, it's clear to me that there are a lot of strong arguments for legalization, and I'm sure we're going to see it again.
Gonna rise up, find my direction magnetically. Gonna rise up.